what Animal Hospital is hiding from you. In this game, you start by checking patients in, treating those patients, and conducting surgery. But you soon find out something is very wrong with this hospital. I've figured out a pattern that exposes everything. You'll see, everyone will see. I hear things, I see things, and hidden away, the experiment was a success. The shadow now sees everything. So we know there was an experiment done on Ratina. She could have turned into the stalker, or she could be the camera anomaly monster because cameras see everything. And with the new update, I've now been able to solve almost every question that we have about Animal Hospital. Why add Rafu to the corner of a hazmat team update, unless he means more to the game? And what else do we know? We know that the game takes place in Korea, and also that it centers around research and experimentation. Rats are heavily used in science for those exact reasons, so it made sense to look that up. Now, I didn't find anything about an experiment, but I did find information about a folktale. In Korean folklore, there's a story of a rat that consumed a person's discarded fingernails before eventually overtaking their appearance. In other words, becoming a mimic. And there's a crazier coincidence. Ron says there was a rat in his office once that chewed through some experiment reports. Well, these are pictures from that exact folklore showing a rat chewing paper. What other secrets does Ratthew have? I'll tell you, have you ever noticed that the note he leaves you in Shift 9 is the same exact handwriting and pen color as the note found in the safe talking about the experiment done to Ratina? Coincidence? Or clue? Either way, all roads lead back to Ratina. Rafu tells us she worked at Animal Corporation and then one day she just disappeared. Well, something tells me Animal Corporation has something to do with it. Speaking of, in the new update, did you notice that they updated the camera to have the Animal Corporation logo on it? That tells you cameras are important in this game, and Liz confirms that. She tells you the camera is special and can see things invisible to us. So what are the cameras seeing that allow them to show us anomalies? Here's my theory. The cameras are screening devices. They are seeing something the human eyes can't. They're seeing UV light, commonly known as crime scene light. If you don't know what it is, basically humans can only see visible light that's red through purple. UV is not in that range. But again, we're back at the question, what are the cameras seeing? In my last video, we figured that out. They're seeing slime. The patients at the hospital are infected. The game tells you that. Ron tells you that. They're testing something here and the patients are infected. The camera acts as a screening device. There are patients coming in not infected with slime, and there are patients coming in infected with slime already. The flash of the camera activates that slime, and the Polaroids come up with the anomalies on them. So then, I looked to the internet to see if there was anything within the experiment mutation science world, and there was, on something called green biofilm. Now, I'm not going to bore you with the science, so let me summarize. Basically, biofilm is a form of life, meaning the flash of the camera is activating the slime. And this is biofilm, which looks very similar to the slime in the game. So when the patients come to the front desk, they're fine. But as soon as they check in, that's how they turn into anomalies. Which leads me to the hazmat team and their purpose. They're an Animal Corporation group. They come to the hospital on two different occasions. One, when they come for the special shift where they clean the slime with their tools, and when Dr. Harlow is given something by them and takes it to the hospital. And now we know a bit more about Slimebert as well. If the slime is alive, so is Slimebert. And he reacts the same way to the fire extinguisher that the slime does, which must mean that this is an intentional pattern. Either the slime is made up of pieces of Slimebert, or Slimebert is made up of all the slime. Either way, make note of what he says here. He talks about paperwork, and so does Ron from accounting, who mentions that he processes the paperwork every night. Ron and Rafu both have some little feud. You can see here, tell that rat to shut up and, hey nerd, you didn't file your paperwork last night. Once again, Rafu is suspicious and at the center of it all. And that means his sister is too. The smart one in the family who worked at Animal Corporation and just went missing one day. And now, Rafu needs to disappear for a while because Animal Corporation is after him for some reason. So what do we know about Animal Corporation? We know that it takes place someplace in Korea. An animal corporation owns Animal Hospital, where Dr. Harlow works. We also know that there's some sort of experiment research going on because there's some sort of activation within patients where they turn into anomalies. And we know that it also has to do with the slime and the hazmat team. The hazmat team will come into the hospital on 2 different occasions. Once when they are bringing something into the hospital, and another time when they are coming in and taking the slime outside of the hospital. What are they doing with it? And the only person we know from the hazmat team is Sam, the new character who used to work at Animal Hospital, but left for some reason and also can't be hired elsewhere. What's interesting about him is he is fire resistant. I don't know if that's intentional or not though. Either way, 2 things could be happening here. They could be taking the slime out, doing something to it, and then bringing it back, or bringing something in and doing something to the slime while it's here. Animal Corporation is doing some sort of experimentation and testing on these patients and causing them to turn into these creatures. And for some reason, it all goes back to enhancing perception. They talk about seeing something. The top secret experiment is the shadow now sees everything, meaning this was successful. The similarity between Ratina and the stalker is uncanny. But the camera anomaly sees everything, literally. In-game evidence does disprove that and says the UV camera sees things invisible to us. So that means the camera anomaly is not actually there. We have to remember, the patients are intentionally being infected. Dr. Harlow was rescued by being experimented on. All of this has to do with seeing things. The experiment was a success. The shadow now sees everything. So be careful out there, because they got what they want. Something out there sees everything.